Hi, once again, everybody, welcome to Zeus's Corner. Anyway, to leave off uh, where I left off, uh, anyway, on the first setup, when I'm at that civility, I remember I was doing an Indian dance, all right, and chanting Indian uh, language, all right, and flipping off the world, all right, to order to end all evil. All right, as God's channeling through me to do this, because that sound kept amping God up, all right, through me. So anyway, as I'm doing that, I'm getting real tired. I decided to lay down and go to sleep. All right, I noticed something weird about the light of above. Had this weird looking light inside, right? This kind of ultraviolet light, right? So anyway, I didn't think too much of it. All right, next thing you know, I'm falling asleep. I'm sleeping for about maybe an hour, hour and a half. Next thing you know, I hear the door open. I'm about ready to wake up, and all of a sudden, I got like I don't know how many people, but a whole bunch of people grab a hold of me, grab my legs, my arms, all right, and hold me down, and then they put a bag over my head real quick, so I can't see them. All right, I can barely see through the bag. All right, or actually, I really slightly see. All right, but I couldn't see them. Anyway, next time I know, they put me in some sort of like a human body bag. All right, and then my hands were locked in back of me. All right, and my legs were locked or strapped. Okay, in this body bag. All right, my head's sticking out of the body bag with the bag on top of my head. All right, I'm going, man. What are y'all doing? I'm going. What are y'all doing to me? All right, do you know who I am? All right. They said, be quiet. We're just trying to help you out. I go, what? Trying to help me out? I said, by attacking me while I'm sleeping? I'm doing nothing wrong. All right. So anyway, next thing you know, I started smelling that beautiful smell, right, of a woman. I remember when I told you about that garden, right? The smell of that garden. All right. Like I said, it's lavender and lilacs. And I think you smell too. Smell. Anyway, there was a female inside that room. All right, and I went like this. I got up. All right, and I went up to her. Well, actually, no, that was later, right? That was later. When I came back in, okay, after about, I think it was in the body bag or that body bag for about let's say 2 3 hours, right? I'm in it. So I'm looking around, looking around. I finally like a got up or managed to get my body onto the ground. I started scooting the bag off my head. All right, scooting my head on the ground to get the bag off. All right, on the floor. So I got one part of the bag off. I got one eye now visible where I can see. All right. I'm looking at that light, and there was something about God's telling me, look into the light. Okay, now scoot around and get onto your butt, onto the they had a like a where you go urinate and poop on in some sort of crate, right? A circle on in the ground. They didn't have a toilet in the room. They also had cameras in that room. There was like had different lenses in them. All right. That's also I thought was why would they have cameras inside this room? Again, I thought that's illegal. All right. They had infrared, night vision, and standard day vision. All right. Lenses. So anyway, as I'm scooting around, Okay, I managed to sit right up on that crate. Okay, or grate, whatever it is. Right, and something about it says, what was that? What was the saying on it? Oh yeah, you will obey. Right, is what it said on that um great, right? I said, ain't that kind of weird? I mean, it wasn't spelled quite right, but it said, you will obey. So anyway, I set my butter on it, and I'm looking up at the light, and a gentleman that kept coming by, well, I don't see you yet, one of the officers, all right, for the civility, said, I don't see you yet. And then when I went like this, as I'm looking backwards, get my head back like this, right, looking at the light, that's when he says, now I can see you. Now, shortly after he said that, all of a sudden they come in, they can put the bag back over my head again, right? Or make sure to put it back over, all right? They got me back on the ground again, okay? Or no, I'm still sitting up, or not sitting up, but I'm kind of got my legs out, right, and sitting up a little bit. That's when I smelled that female, right? And anyway, I went right up to her. I said, and they were trying to undo my bondages, all right? And I told her, no, don't touch me. Let me do it myself. That's when I undid my own legs from the straps, but I couldn't undo my hands, all right? So I went right up to her, right, face to face, I think. I said, who are you? Why is it I can smell that smell off of you? All right? Anyway, she didn't say much, right? Next thing you know, they undid me, but kept the bag on my head, all right, and then left the room again. So anyway, I'm wondering, man, what the hell was that all about? All right. Next thing you know, about maybe I think it was an hour later, they came in, took me out of the room, put me into this one room where I can had new clothes for me. All right. So I put on the new clothes that they've got me. All right, and sandals. Right, they had sandals there for me. Okay. Now they're taking me back to Fife Police Department. Okay. Now I'm in front of the so-called judge. All right, at Fife Police Department. All right, and which that's in Tacoma. Anyway, now I'm in front of him, or not quite in front of him, but I'm on the side. All right, he was gonna have me go in front of him, and he asked me, "Sir, who are you?" And I said, "Well, I think I'm God Zeus." So he didn't say too much of that. He goes, "Why were you car prowling?" Well, I didn't go car prowling. That's all I was doing is looking for clues. He said, "Sir, when you go inside somebody's vehicle that's not yours, it's considered car prowling. Now, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?" So I said, "Well, I guess I'm guilty, right? Because I wanted to leave, there, right? If I could plead guilty, then I can leave immediately." She said, "Okay, now you want to plead guilty? That's okay. All right, we're gonna let you out on your own recognizances. All right, but now you owe $1,700 some odd dollar fine." All right, I'm going to say what? A 700 or $1,500 fine, or 15 $1,700 fine. All right. So I'm thinking, man, there's no way I can afford to pay that because at the time I wasn't making much money at all. All right. So anyway, as I'm walking out, right, finally, I'm free. Okay. Now God is still with me. Right. God Jesus is still within me. Okay. Anyway, I'm looking around. And anyway, I went to the mailbox they had there. Okay. Because I wanted to put my stuff on top to go through it. And what was weird on my keychain was that Caribbean clip. That Caribbean clip did not belong to me. Also, there was a phone number, right? And I didn't know what that was about. Okay, I didn't have that phone number in my wallet before. All right. So as I'm going through my stuff and that, checking what's there and what's not, all right? So now I'm wondering, now how am I going to get back home? It's a 6 mile walk. I have, at that time, I had knee issues, all right, and had a hard time walking. So as I'm looking around, I look at this truck, okay, and then I saw a ashtray, outdoor ashtray, okay, a Spencer. Anyway, God told me kick the ashtray because you're gonna be kicking the habit later. All right. So when I did that, I kicked the ashtray, and then I went to go check that truck out. Okay, and just looking at it, right, a gentleman or one of the officers, I guess the truck belonged to him, or whoever the gentleman was. All right, came out. Hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm just looking at the truck. He goes, that's my truck. I go, you sure? I thought that was my truck. I was joking with him. I said, are you sure? I think that's my truck. So anyway, he goes like this, no, that's my truck. All right. And what are you doing trying to get into it? Anyway, next thing you know, one of the female officers at the Fife Police Department, right, grabs a hold of me lightly, right, gently, puts the handcuffs on me, and then starts walking me into the back of the police department. All right. So back into the area where they put you in jail again. All right. Instead of putting me, they put me back in the cell, the same cell that I was in before, in Fife. Okay, with the cameras. So I'm waiting in there. Finally, they took me back out. Okay, now they're gonna put me inside of a sheriff's, Pierce County Sheriff's deputy's car. All right, or yeah, Pierce County Sheriff's car. All right, squad car into the back. They throw me, right? The officer throws me literally into the back. All right. So anyway, I land on some guy's lap, all right, with my head. All right. Next time I go like this, I tell the gentleman, hey, can you move your leg upward so I can move my head so I can get upright so I can sit upright. All right. So anyway, so he decides he's lift his leg. Next thing I know, I started smelling that evil smell again. All right, I'm talking really heavy. So anyway, what it was a smell of heated motor oil, really heavy, right, and rotting burnt flesh. I mean, really, really strong smell. Now I'm up and I'm looking at this gentleman in the eyes. Right now, he's got a haircut just like a Egyptian style haircut for women, right back in that day. All right, like ISIS. All right, that's another thing. I actually saw ISIS in the sky. I wonder why. Right, would ISIS pop up in the sky? Right, that was like 6 days prior before the incident. I forgot to mention that. So anyway, so I kept wondering why I've been seeing this, right? And just like before, when God appeared before me, it was a black clouds that kept forming, all right? And that's when I saw ISIS. Right now, I kept doing studies. Why would ISIS and Satan have been joined together? All right. So anyway, the gentleman I was talking about inside the car was actually Satan himself, Zeus's brother. Now, what it is, I remember this guy's face, all right, because I saw him like a year prior to all the incidents, all right. A year prior, he was hanging down at my apartment complex. Now, I didn't know who he was back then. I did not smell no evil back then, right, off of him. I even asked him for a cigarette back then, right? He gave me a look like, you know, disgusted, right? And just kept glaring at me, right? And I went like this. I just shook it off and walked away, right? You know, he said he didn't have a cigarette, he didn't smoke, so I walked away. All right, but I thought it was odd about the look he was getting. So anyway, I walked away and went and asked somebody else for a cigarette because back then I used to smoke. All right. So anyway, I go and okay, I'm trying to remember now a little bit. Sometimes I get a little sidetracked. Anyway, back to being inside the car with Zeus's brother, which is Satan. All right, I went like this. I know who you are. I've seen you before. All right, you're my brother, aren't you? All right, and he's looking at me now. He's got a dead eye on the left side. All right, and it looks like a little BB moving around. Right, and it started moving around big time. Right, when I said, "Oh, by the way, I'm God Zeus." All right, do you remember me? All right, I remember fucking you. Excuse my language. All right. So anyway, I go like this. You go like this. Say my name 3 times. All right. I'm about ready to bash him in the head with my head. Right, headbutt his ass. All right. Excuse my language again. Anyway, they headbutt him to order to send him right then and there. I said, say my name 3 times. Zeus, Zeus, Zeus. Just let him know what my name was. Say it 3 times. All right. So anyway, he's looking at me with fear. All right. Now we're starting to head out toward that stability. Me and him are going there together. All right. So now I'm back into that cell. All right, or the rubber room that I was in before. Okay, he's in a different cell or rubber room. Okay, now I'm watching him the whole time as I'm thinking God is thinking how to torture him without touching him, but he's touching him through his mind. All right, it's called telekinesis. All right, yes, I had that ability too at the time. Anyway, as God Zeus is countering more and more to get me to torture Satan, I can literally feel him being tortured, like torturing his body, right? Torturing it, all right? And then they're like a pretzel. So anyway, I can hear him scream, ISIS, ISIS, help me, ISIS. But ISIS couldn't help him because I sent ISIS away a long time ago when I first saw her in the sky. Where she's going to be tortured for eternity. All right. So anyway, as he's screaming for ISIS, I can hear him. All right. Now I'm looking outside my portal and I'm looking at this room. And I actually literally see him transform into what you guys know as the picture of Jesus, right? Transform into Jesus. Now, why is that? Why is Satan trying to transform into what used to look like Jesus? All right, like the pictures you ever seen of Jesus, or paintings or whatever. Yeah, it's just like that. All right, but the only difference is on the right hand side there's fingers missing. Okay, so I didn't thought that was odd too. So as I'm watching being transformed, and there's a cloud in the back, or a lot of smoke in the back room, inside the room, I thought, man, what is going on here? All right, all right, but it's okay because now I know what this guy's trying to do. All right. So anyway, I know you think this is all crazy talk, right? But I'm telling you the truth. This is what I went through. All right, this is what I saw. I know what I seen. I know it's not delusional thoughts. All right. I know what between reality and what's not real. So anyway, and then those that try to tell you otherwise, don't listen to them. All they're trying to do is discredit me. All right, as always. All right, I think God Himself is trying to transform into other people. and they've gone through the same thing that I've gone through. All right, our government, who say they believe or we trust in God. All right, fuck you. Excuse my language. Like I said, everybody should rise up. All right, do not take no shit from the government. Excuse my language again. All right, and show them that you're tired of what they're doing to even God Zeus. Anyway, as we're in that stability, right, and Satan is crying out and that, right, because he's in a whole lot of pain, crying out to ISIS, all right, screaming his little head off. I'm just laughing my head off at the time. All right. So anyway, finally they let me out, right, and that's when they got me dressed up in a different outfit. Okay, sorry about that. I said I thought that was before, but no, that's when it happened. All right. Now anyway, I got two officers that are leading me out to go back in the squad car, and they're actually going to take me home. All right, to where I live or wherever I wanted to be dropped off. So anyway, there was also a girl that was behind me, or a lady, or a young lady, that said he's got the intense eyes. And you ever seen those intense eyes that he's got? That is the guise of God. All right. So anyway, I also heard a old friend in the background inside the building, which was inside the building. Anyway, which was Jason McKivens, I think it was. If you hear me, Jason McKivens, I got a lot of answers to ask you. All right. I do have some money for you. All right. But we need to talk. Anyway, as they're taking me back home, all right. Anyway, I gave the hug to each one of the officers, which I shouldn't have done, knowing that they actually were against me, all right, or part of the setup, all right. But I gave a hug to them to let them know, look, I respect what you do, all right, and thank you for taking me back home, all right. I said now, whatever you want, okay, it's not what you need, or not what you want, but what you need the most is what you ask me for. All right. And that's what I'll give you. And that's what God will give you. But you have to really think about what it is that you need the most. Because I'm not just going to give you whatever. All right. It's what you really need. And if it makes sense to God, then He would give that to you. Okay. So anyway, as I'm back home now, 3 days, I think it was 3 or 4 days. Now comes the second setup. Oh yeah, fun. All right. Now is God is amping up because that sound is going really loud again. All right, and amping up God within me. All right. Anyway, next thing I know, I started smelling that evil smell. Everybody that was in my apartment complex were doing bad things. All right. Anyway, every one of them, I made a mark of Saturn on their door, and it's a mark of zodiac sign, right, for Saturn. All right. So I made a mark on each one of their doors. All right, invisible mark with my finger, index finger, right, index finger. All right, of that mark. And now later on that night, I was playing some music, watching TV, and there was opera on, right? It was kind of like a heavy metal type opera, all right? I can't remember what the lady's name was, but it was pretty awesome type stuff, right? And she was into God, all that stuff, right? So I turned it up. I turned on my entertainment center, right? And anyway, started blasting the music, right? Next thing I know, I can hear through the sound of the music that sound again started going higher and higher. All right. Next thing I know, I can smell that evil smell. I mean, really, really high smell. All right. Next thing I know, all right, everybody that I was started going out to every door, and I can smell through the door that evil smell. All right. To every mark that I made on the door. All right. So anyway, what they were descending, right? Now some would be lightly descend if they did something was bad, but wasn't real bad, right? Considered evil, they would descend lightly and then come back down. All right, and would be cleansed. So anyway, that was the night. Okay, before right the setup. Then I started going out the night after that. I kept hearing a girl the next day, right during the daytime. I think it was like around noon. All right, hollering, saying, oh, God, I can't remember what it's called. It's an Indian name, I think, right? Um, I can't remember right now, but we'll get back to that later, right? So it's also a name in the Bible, right? Also, that's another thing. The Bible, right? Which y'all don't know. Okay, it's a form of brainwash. Yes, God exists. God Zeus exists. All right, and the Bible that you're reading, even though it mentions Jesus and Jesus and Zeus were one and the same. All right, the Bible does not tell you the whole truth. Okay, there's a lot of misguided, what do you call it, sayings and whatnot. Right, that's another thing that God don't like is being called Lord. He does not like that. Okay, the only one that likes to be called Lord is Lord of Darkness, right? The Lord of the underworld, right? Um, I think there was other ones too. Lord of Darkness, um, the evil overlord, all that stuff, right? Dark overlord, whatever, right? Anyway, basically that's what Satan likes to be called is Lord. All right. If you might want to reframe by saying that. All right. I might want to reframe by reading that Bible. I'm not saying go ahead and discard the Bible. Okay. Try to make out sense of what it's trying to say. All right. The real truth. Right. Not one time in that Bible does it mention Zeus. All right. I would say God, but I never mention the proper name to God's name. They always say Jesus. Jesus is fine. All right. But the God, Zeus, likes to be called by his real name. Now, I am no longer God, Zeus. All right. They made sure to take that away on the second setup. All right. Now, anyway, as I'm told you before about the incident, all right, for the first setup, or second setup, I should say. Anyway, when the gentleman hit me in the back of the head 3 times, almost knocked me out, and then tried to use a gun on me, all right, or furnished a gun. Anyway, Anyway, that day, that's when the cops showed up, put me in the jail again. All right. And they put me in a special cell this time, right? It's kind of like a federal holding cell, I think it is, in Pierce County Jail. All right. Anyway, I also had cameras inside. Anyway, which I think is still illegal, but I don't know, right? Anyway, any lawyers out there that want to take my case, please chat with me. All right. I'd like to talk to you about the setup. All right, falsely imprisonment, falsely accused of something that I'm not. Okay. Also, falsely accused of crimes I did not commit. I need your help. Okay. Anyway, as I'm being set up again for the second time, I'm in jail. Okay, Pierce County Jail. And now, for some reason, I'm not seeing no judge for a long time. I'm there for almost, I think it was almost 2.5 months, all right, before they sent me to Western State. Yeah, that's right, Western State. Okay. Anyway, for people that have mental illness, I'm wondering why I'm going there. I don't have mental illness, all right? Just because God channeled through me doesn't mean I have mental illness, or anybody that's been channeled through before have mental illness. All right. And all those that think I got mental illness, F you. Anyway, as I'm getting back for when I'm in that special cell, all right, I started seeing other people that had the eyes of ability there as well. They kept coming up to my cell, looking in my window, all right, at my door. I'm going, "Who are you?" And they said, "Well, I can't say who I am, but I know who you are. You're God Zeus." I said, "Yes, I am." All right, how'd you know? All right, I said, "There's something weird about your eyes, man. I see the eyes of ability in you." All right, and they just walked away. All right, now I had another gentleman that came up. He had the word F on it or tattooed on his left arm. Right? And I asked him, what does that mean, right? F. He says, the word F you. All right? That's what it meant for. Okay? So I just laughed. I said, okay. So he also had the eyes of a building. So as I'm there, I decided to lay down because I'm pretty tired. I finally got some food, but that food was nasty. All right? So anyway, as I'm laying down, I kept on now hearing wings flapping right inside my cell, but there's no way for anybody to be inside my cell. There's nothing above me, but yet my wings sounded like it was above me. All right, and I'm talking huge wings, like almost like angel wings. All right. So I'm thinking, man, what the hell is that? Next thing I know, my whole body feels like it's being touched. And when I mean my whole body, everywhere, right? Like thousands and thousands and thousands of fingers touching me, right? And I'm going, man, what is this? What's going on? All right. But I'm sleeping, I'm too tired now. I'm also laying on my stomach, which I hardly ever do. All right. Okay. The reason I was laying on my stomach, because remember what I told you, the officer dislocated my shoulder. All right. And they took me in there. All right. Anyway, as my arm is dislocated, I relocated while I was in the cell. Okay, which is really tough to do and really painful. All right. So it is. I'm laying on my stomach and listen to this flapping. All right, and feel like I'm being touched all over. Next thing I know, I thought I was about ready to. I say this. I was getting a little on the horny side because of being touched. All right, everywhere, even there. All right, and next thing I know, I didn't uh, come out, but what I did was I urinated out majorly. I tried to get to the bathroom in time, but I couldn't. I was too tired, and just mass urination came out of me, man. I mean, it was like a major flood. All right, I've never urinated that much out of my whole life. All of a sudden, the smell of the urine smelled like cigarettes and and that burnt oil or heated motor oil and rotting burnt flesh. All right, as I'm absorbing evil into me, right? Okay, when I descend people, right, they're evil. I actually absorb them. All right, that smell. So anyway, I kept smelling that urine. I go, man, why does it smell like that? So now I'm being what they call it detoxified. All right, that's what's happening. I'm being detoxified from all the cigarettes I ever smoked, all the chemicals that ever been in my body. All right, and the evil that I absorbed. All right, I know you think this all sounds crazy, but it's all true. All right, let's say I know I got up. I'm going to just go. I'm soaked, man. My clothes I got on, the jailhouse clothes I got on, are soaked. All right, so now I take everything off and I'm in the nude now. As the cameras are on me watching. All right, but I didn't care. All right, and I was pretty thin back then too. So anyway, well, not is well. I was thinner then I am now. All right. So anyway, as I'm in this cell, okay, God is channeling through me because you can hear that sound again. All right. So anyway, he's telling me to say refresh, take the clothes, and soak it into the toilet. All right, the toilet water. All right, rinse it out. The clothes, rinse it out. All right, and then start taking the clothes and throwing it onto the wall and say refresh, refresh. So as I'm thinking refresh, remember what I told you about that beautiful smell? So I kept thinking refresh, right, as I'm throwing the clothes upon the wall. So as it doing, after a while, when you do that, when you keep on hitting the clothes on the wall, concrete wall, right, your clothes actually start to dry a little bit faster. All right. So anyway, it's actually getting the water out and a stench. All right. So next thing, I wait until the clothes dry. I put them back on, and they smell like being in a heavenly garden. All right, and that beautiful smell. So anyway, as I'm in there, I'm looking around. And I see this gentleman down below. All right, and he's sitting down. All right, watching the big screen TV on the wall. Okay, I see a podium, and I see some bathroom or some showers and a bathroom, and I see some phone booths down below. Next thing I know, I'm watching this gentleman the whole time. All right, and now he once he looks at me and just waves. All right, then he goes to the one of the showers, and he starts acting like a gorilla, right, and half caveman. All right, that's another thing I saw in the sky too. I didn't mention that. Okay, and when that happens, when I used to descend people, all right, think about this. Now this might be nasty. All right, but anyway, the gorilla and a half caveman, right? I don't know what they call that, but anyway, primate, um, Neanderthal, whatever, right? Anyway, when that appears, right? What is that's going to grab a hold of the person that's descending, all right, and f them in the butt. That's all I had to do is God think of this, the punishment, and that's what happens. All right, I even got to witness it one time with a gentleman that was from a church. All right. And he used to call me a thorn. All right. Trying to say that I was a thorn. Okay. And so anyway, one day we got to meet when I was God Zeus. And I showed him, no, you are the thorn. Never call me a thorn. Or try and represent that I'm a thorn on Jesus' head. All right. So anyway, well, I kind of lost my thought. Hold on, sometimes I get a brain fart. Anyway, going back to when I was in that cell, okay, and watching the gentleman do that the gorilla thing. Next thing you know, he walks out, goes back, sits down to watch TV. This other gentleman pops up. Okay, he's wearing like striped jail suit, right? Like gray and white striped jail suit. I'm like, why is he wearing one, but the other guy's wearing gray? I'm just plain old gray. Right? So as I'm watching him, all right, first he goes to the shower and he keeps testing each shower, and then he goes to the one where the gentleman was doing the half ape and caveman, all right, and goes into that shower instead, which was kind of weird why he picked that one. All right. Next thing I know, I can hear or see him start freaking out. Okay, like he's listening to something that's in there, but yet there's nothing there. I can smell that evil coming from him as well. All right, from a distance, I can smell that evil. All right. So anyway, as he's doing this and starts freaking out, he runs out of the shower, goes to the cell or to the payphones. All right, starts making a call. Now, as I'm looking at them the whole time, I'm thinking about the ape and caveman effing him in the butt. All right, and next thing you know, I can see his legs going back and forth, wiggling back and forth. Right, and that right. I thought, okay, something's happening, man. Right, and I can see the other gentleman that did this watching him the whole time. Next thing I know, I can see the gentleman get up, looks at me, right, and runs, all right, out of view. So anyway, shortly after that, that's when they came in and got me out of my cell and put me into another a tank. All right, this time, okay, inside the tank. Okay, my eyes kept burning. Right, and I'm going, why is my eyes burning so bad? There's like some sort of chemical smell. So I think what they're doing is trying to get my eyes' ability to be irritated. All right, or the ones you all seeing eye of God. All right. Anyway, as I'm in that cell and my eyes are burning, okay, I kept hearing the gentleman talking and whatnot, and one gentleman came up to my cell, and I went up to the window to talk to him through the window. And I said, "Yeah, what do you want?" And he goes, "You're gonna pay for what you did to her." I go, "What does he mean by that?" All right, I'm thinking, what does he mean by that? So anyway, he walks away. I walk back into where my bunk is, thinking, what do you meant by that? Okay. I kept wondering, man, my eyes are burning really, really bad. I can barely see because it was that bad. All right. Now, anyway, now I'm hearing other gentlemen talking. So I go to my window again to look. All right. And they're all looking at me. All right. Now I'm kicking the door because I'm getting mad, right? I'm being locked up. Wonder why I ain't seeing a judge or nothing, right? So I could go talk to the judge and say, look, I've not committed no crime. I was the one assaulted upon, not once, but twice. All right. And I'd like to be released. All right. But no, that never happened. So anyway, as I'm in that cell, okay, on a new tank, right? Now, anyway, I started flooding my cell so I could get attention from the guards, all right? Anyway, the guards were getting mad because I was flooding. They told me to knock it off, right? But I told them to hell with you. I kept kicking the door, right? They told me to stop. I told them, no, I ain't gonna stop. Now I'm bothering other cellmates, all right? Other people are in the tank, all right? And they tell me, hey, you need to calm down. And you're God Zeus. God Zeus would not act like that. And I said, how do you know what God would act like? All right, how would you like to be locked up, accused of a crime you didn't commit, and not seeing a judge in order to get released? So anyway, the officer decided to move me. I was there for 3 days, and then they moved me to another tank. I was there for, like I said, all together for 2.5 months. That's when I went to Western State. I was in Western State for a 14-day evaluation. All right. And then went back to jail for um, another month and a half. Went back to Western State. Okay. And that's for, let's see, for 45 days. Then back to jail again. All right. For another, I think, 2.5 months. And then back to Western State to do 90 days. All right. For what they call a complete restoration. All right. And I said I had no mental illness, but they were trying to mess with my mind. I refused to take any meds. And I told them, if you touch me with any meds or try to stick me with anything, put anything down my throat, right, I will sue. So they did not. So anyway, now from Western State, I go back to jail for 10 days. I finally get released. But at that time, all right, I should say on the third time that I was in jail is when they finally took God's abilities from me. All right, by using that sound, it made a different tone in the back of my right earlobe. All right, just behind, right about here. Right, I kept hearing this or feeling this vibration going, right, and, like a light vibration. Next thing, a light explosion, really, really light. It just goes, poof, right inside. I'm going, man, what the hell was that? Right? Then on the left side did the same thing. All right. Next thing you know, when the right side did this eye was gone. This is one of the eyes of ability, right? This is the eye of ability. This is the main eye of ability. These two see whatever, right? Focus on information and feed that. All right, which feeds this. All right, your brain. Okay, that's called the pineal gland. All right, knowing when it opens up wide, knowing is the all-seeing eye. And like I said, when it opens up your soul, I mean, woo, yeah, it was awesome. Like I said, my eyes of ability were opened up every time I would listen to that sound. Boom, God's eye would open up. Now, I don't know if it's some sort of experiment that was done on me. I don't know if I had a religious experience or I was God the whole time and did not know it until I heard that sound, which woke up God within me. All right. Now, I know a lot of you out there, religious fanatics, all right, thinking, oh, yeah, Abraham is not God's name. All right. I know a lot of you think, oh, God's name is Abraham. Sorry, but it's not. It's God Zeus. All right. Always has been, always will be. So get used to it, people. Now, like I said, I'm no longer God Zeus. I am the chosen son of God Zeus in order to help mankind. All right. I said with that water purification system, they could do so much for us and what it could do for the planet, right? Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that I learned about that God taught me. All right, like green technology, right, to help out us go green. Right, we need to go green because God is highly angry about what we are doing to this earth. All right, we're destroying the earth that we live on, and by destroying the earth, we destroy us. All right. I mean, what are we going to do once the earth turns upon us? All right, or with the pollution and whatnot. All right, the ozone's getting weaker and weaker. We're going to burn up. All right. Now, also because the ocean's rising, I will be doing saltwater purification plants, a whole bunch of them around the world. All right, if allowed. Okay, in order to lower the oceans, and by lower the oceans, right, we can actually calm or stop storms. All right, as the oceans are rising, think about this: you got water pressure and you got air pressure. All right, what's going to happen to the ozone, right, when that happens? When it's going to start going rising up, and the air pressure, and it's going, right, like being forced. All right, and what happens to the ozone? It starts getting holes. All right, it's all due to the um, CO2 emissions. All right, which I know how to um, delete or destroy CO2, all right, which is a pathogen, all right. That's water purification can destroy pathogens, all right, which is a CO2. Okay. Now I'm gonna go for now. All right. Hopefully, talk to y'all soon. Please give me some feedback. All right, if you want. Uh, it's nice chatting to you all for now. I gotta go.